Guys, this is another episode. John the Electro Man back with another video. This time, I finally have my own welder. Check it out. I think it's one of those off-brand Chinese-made things. I'm glad to finally have my own welder. There's some stuff that this thing can't, or a lot of the stuff this thing can't do. That's why I like to use my papa's MIG. And one issue I have is accidentally touching the leads. I'm used to a MIG. Like, what I mean by used to a MIG is you actually have a real gun, not some piece of junk made by a crappy Chinese factory. Aluminum stick with end pinched and threaded for a nut, and that's about it. And it's junky right about there. It's like, sucks. Light's too light. But anyway, I have an issue with setting what I use to weld on. It's pretty much a really big, and it's blinding me. It's pretty much a really big piece of. It's an old I-beam with a vise bolted down to it, and I have an issue. I'll set down on it while welding to hold it still, and then I'll accidentally touch the tip of the wand, or also known as a gun or rod holder, and I get a shock. Not only that, sometimes I forget it on in loud shops and things, so I'm going to put an indicator lamp in it. That right there. Anyway, my grandfather gave me a welding helmet to use with it, and it's bare minimum. It's simple. The only thing on it is a switch and a transformer, and that's going to be the new ground clamp I put on it instead of this. It's solid plastic with just two metal pieces. That's it. I just put it on there because that's all I had at the time. And one issue I had with it when I got it, and the moped that I had on the intro to my channel is no longer with us. I traded it off for a welder. This is it. I got tired of having to fix it constantly. It was always breaking down. And the guy I traded it off to really wanted it, and I wanted the welder. Anyway, he got what he wanted, I got what I wanted. I got tired of coming home from school, riding it, then it tearing up, and me having to walk 2 miles home from somewhere down the road. I hated it. That's 14 gauge wire, about as big around as my... Actually, I think it's exactly as big around as my pinky. Or maybe even bigger. I can't tell, the light's blinding it, blurring it out. I took one of my drop cords I had made. I used it, but it needed work. It was a really good drop cord up until I let my grandfather lift it outside. It was a really good one until then. So I hacked off the end of it, about, say about 10 to 12 feet. Like 14, no, yeah, about 14 gauge stranded copper wire. And the original cord was cut off to here and used crimp connectors and a piece of old drop light cord that was about that long. And it bugged me to death, and whenever I'd use it, which I've only had it about a day, so when I'd use it, it would be hot, and wires would start getting gooey and gummy, and at 120 volts, at 15 amps, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing in any system, but it's even worse when you get into higher voltages. It's just pretty much as simple as one big transformer, a switch, and leads. So I put me a good-sized drop cord, high current. I'd say it draws probably 14, 15 amps in operation. It's only a 50 amp welder, and open circuit voltage, which is burp. It's OCH, open circuit voltage, and Open circuit voltage is about 45 volts, and I don't know if you can see that. No, camera just wants, the light just wants to blur it out. Thanks, light. Anyway, short circuit, it's about 25 volts, roughly. 25 welding volts, and it's a 50 amp welder. It's called Mini Welder. I'm not sure what company made it, but it's not adjustable. It's basically two choices. Either you want it on, or you want it off. Just one big transformer. And right here, this is pretty much, actually this is exactly what it is. It's jumper cable wire that's been stretched. It's been pulled apart all the way to the welder. And when I put it on here, I put a jumper cable clamp because it had another thing like this with a clamp on the end. And it was dropping so much voltage that the thing wasn't even useful. I couldn't use it because it was dropping too much voltage and current. But I have to put up, oh, that's nice. I have to put up with this little junky wand until I can actually afford to pay for one and some rods to go with it. So I got my own welding helmet. That's going to be the new ground clamp. I gotta admit, the only thing I like about this clamp is that it is a, the only thing I really like about this clamp is the fact that it's isolated. This one right here, you can touch it. This one here, you cannot touch the contacts whatsoever. And I'm not going to put that clamp on the welding side to hold the rod because, I mean, I don't want to put it up and somebody come through thinking it's a big battery charger and clamp it to their battery. Kaboom! It won't end up well. Either way, I don't know, I think it would probably just sit there and hum and burn the transformer up, probably. But anyway, that's pretty much all that's going on. Kind of weird. Anyway, I figured I would show my new welder I got. It's okay, I got what I wanted. Oh, and, well, not only that, the guy I got it from did me pretty good. I mean, I got me it's older, but it's a fairly decent CB antenna. It's got like a, let's see, I think each rod, side rods are about 8 foot, so it's like it's got a 16 foot horizontal span, and the vertical span can be however much you want, depending on the rod you put on it. You could have this thing 40, 50 feet up in the air, but I'm not planning to take it that high. I got coax for it. That's the pole that goes on it. Then I've got this, like, I think it's like a 10-foot pole that the antenna bolts to. And I gotta do something with this tonight. I'll probably get it at the end of the video. Anyway, the guy did me really good. He's a really cool guy. I'm not going to mention his name on YouTube because I couldn't blame him. I wouldn't want some guy just coming up and randomly put my name out for everybody to know. But he's a really cool guy. He's helped me out a lot. He gave me not to mention that, but he gave me a United 26 XL CB radio. And that, I checked up online, that model's worth about 120, 130, no, 150 brand new, and about somewhere around $50, $60 used. So I had about $150 in the moped just from work time. And I got the antenna that's worth at least $50 to $75, a welder that is worth about $75. So 75 plus 75, blah 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 blah. You do the math. I don't care. It'd be nice if I could actually do it on my own. Actually, 75 plus 75, that's 150, I believe. Right on the nose. So they gave me an antenna, CB. Well, the CB added with it, that's about, well, it's nearing up 100 and, It's getting close up to $200, so it's fairly good. Fine by me. And originally the guy gave me the antenna, but he actually got up there and helped me pull it down and everything. And I still feel like I owed him for it, so I feel like we're all even now. So I'm still standing here trying to break this so I can carry it off. And not to mention it's solid aluminum, so it's light, but yet it's, for what it is, it's fairly stout. Let's see, I'm 10 minutes and 30-something seconds into the video. It's a very big antenna. If I was to put it up on top of the house, it'd be sitting up about, I'd say around 30, 40 foot. That would be enough to, with the 40-watt radio I've got, and the 500-watt linear, 400 or 500 watt, I'd say about 400, so about 440 watts. I could transmit with this tower probably down to Greenback, no problem. I'm just running my mouth. This is kind of a random bits video. And I got like some sort of new recording set up on my phone, which I like. I don't know. It shows the left and right audio. This is the shop back here. And I got that unplugged good. Smart me. Oh, alrighty. Well, here we are. I want to try to find that cable and show you about how long it was. It wasn't that long. It was just here, and it's gone. Oh well, not like I need it. I got the parts off of it I needed. It had some connectors on it that went inside of the due to my dad thingamabobber. I'm just chatting away around my mouth. Hey, this is my YouTube channel. That's nice. This is my YouTube channel. I'm allowed to do that. This is the monstrosity of a clamp. It had this piece here was also, there was also a piece identical to it on this side, which is supposed to make it efficient and help and everything, which was BS. You would put 2 carbon rods on it, and you could squeeze it together to vary the distance apart. Anyway, somebody had already cut that off of there and took it off, so I probably would have kept it if it still had those parts, but probably not. Alrighty. Add about an extra foot onto this piece of cord, and that's about how much was on it, so about 1 3/4 feet. Not enough to use. You'd have to run a drop cord, and with a welder, you don't want to do that. Because when you run a drop cord, what happens is you have way too much, trying to see where I'm going, you have way too much resistance, which drags it down, causes heating issues, and once it heats up, it can actually cause meltdowns, melting copper conductors, burning up transformers, switches, plugs, and connectors. So, you always want to try to keep resistance out as much as possible. And there is always going to be some form of resistance in every conductor. There's no way to avoid it. But there's a way to reduce it, and that's what you want to do. Well, this is John the Electro Man, and, I don't know, should I keep the video going? I'll keep it going for about a minute or two longer. But, this is John the Electro Man. No, end it. Or else I'll have loading issues. This is John the Electro Man. See ya.